Hello, and welcome back to Life on the Rocks, the channel dedicated to all things related to geology. I'm your host, Cameron Thompson. Now, one of the reasons I took a week off from the channel was because I did a state exchange with my 4-H program. 4-H is a youth organization that provides children and teens with the skills to solve problems, serve and lead within the community, and live healthy lifestyles, all while learning by doing. The exchange program I participate in does state exchanges with other states from the U.S. The group that the program exchanged with was a group from Montana, and one place we showed them was the Strataca Salt Museum in Hutchinson, Kansas. Today, I want to talk about the museum's prehistory, the salt that is mined there, and the history surrounding salt mines in Kansas. However, before I talk about my experience in the museum, we have a paleo shout-out. Today's shout-out goes to the Waco Mammoth Site in Texas. On this day in 2015, a new mammoth bone bed site was discovered and made a national monument by the National Park Service. A bone bed is described as a collection of fossils of any kind in a specific location. In this case, the bone bed consisted of several Columbian mammoths and their young that died at the same time. But for now, let's get back to the video. The history of Strataca's past dates back to over 270 million years before our time on the planet. During the period known as the Permian, the North American continent was still part of the supercontinent Pangaea. The seas remained abundant with shells, corals, fish, and prehistoric sharks, including the famous buzzsaw shark, the helicoprion. On land, terrestrial animals were not as rich as sea life, but one animal is known of, that being Dimetrodon, a synapsid, a relative of modern-day mammals, with a sail that predated the dinosaurs. However, 20 million years later, Pangaea laid in ruin as a result of the Great Dying, the most deadly mass extinction in Earth's history that wiped out over 90% of all living species caused by volcanic eruptions that led to global warming and ocean collapse. Besides the fossils known from the area above ground, the most common product known from the mine is halite, or more commonly known as salt. Halite is a white mineral and is considered a type of natural form of salt. The formation of halite occurs when salt water evaporates and causes sodium and chloride ions to bond and crystallize. Halite can be mined across the United Kingdom, Canada, and in few places in the United States, including Strataca. The use of halite boils down to two primary uses, such as the use of salt for flavoring and cooking, as well as using salt as a way to melt roads during winter months. Millions of years after the world burned, the land out west by Hutchinson, Kansas became a sought-after place because of its large oil reserves. In 1887, geologists discovered salt when they were initially drilling for oil. It wasn't until 1923 that the Carey Salt Company came along and established a mine down in the area 650 feet underground. The mines were later abandoned in 1954, with some of the original equipment remaining after it was shut down. Another fact about the mines is that they were once proposed to hold federal nuclear waste after the start of the Cold War, which never happened. However, the storage space in the Mines Museum has been repurposed into storage for props seen in famous movies, such as Superman and Troy. Kansas Underground Salt Mine was the original name of the facility when it opened in 2007. It was later renamed Strataca in 2013 and is also seen as one of the 8 wonders of Kansas voted by the Kansas Sampler. Before this video ends, I want to announce that I am creating short-form content called Rock Solid Shorts. These shorts will be condensed versions of what I am covering on YouTube and cover topics separate from the main channel. But anyways, thank you again for tuning into another episode on the channel. Feel free to like, subscribe, or comment any places you would like me to cover from this state that have geological significance. And as always, don't forget to live life on the rocks.